Hi friends, welcome to my channel. This is Funny. I'm a product manager who loves to explore and build new technology products. Starting a new series where I talk about different books that I read, the insights that I gathered from them, and finally how I implemented them in my daily routine. Today, I'm going to talk about a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Let's get started. As the name of the book implies, atomic habits. Atomic is something very minute. Habits is something that you do very often. When you combine these two, you're basically making tiny changes in your life that could bring you remarkable results. When I think about this book, I'm going to split it into four insights. The first one is 1% rule. The second one is systems versus goals. The third one is identity change. And the fourth one is the four laws of behavioral change. Let's start with the 1% rule. The basic premise of the 1% rule goes back to the principle of compounding interest. What James mentions in the book is that if you improve yourself 1% every day, by end of this year, you'll be 37 times better than what you're today. The same applies in the negative end of spectrum as well. If you're doing things 1% worse every day, by end of this year, you would be almost equal to a zero. James also clearly mentions a statement. Habits are a compounding interest of your self improvement. When you start a new habit, you might not see a big difference in yourself, but over a period of time, the results that you would see are humongous. The same applies to both your personal and professional aspects of life. In your personal life, let's say you started a new gym routine. In the first 1 week or in the first couple of weeks, you might not see a drastic difference. But in the next 3 months or in the next 6 months, you will definitely feel much more stronger and faster. Same applies to your professional career too. Let's say you're a product manager and you wanted to grow your career. There might be a lot of small things that might be creeping and occupying your time on a daily basis. But let's say you focus on developing a strategy or improving your network. That would help you dramatically in the next few years of your professional career. James also summarizes this in a simple way by saying that time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It'll multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits will make the time your ally, and at the same time, the bad habits will make time your enemy. Another big principle that James talks about in the book is the plateau of latent potential. When we start a new habit, what we anticipate is that we would have a linear growth. We'll start to see the results right away and we'll continue to see the improvement. But what actually happens in the process of compounding is that initially you might not be seeing the result, but over a period of time, you will see the drastic results. Initially, what will happen is you will fall in that valley of disappointment wherein you would not see the results and you would start to give up. Many of us fall in the same aspect and then will continue to leave the habit that we started. The second insight from the book is to focus on systems instead of goals. I'll tell you an example what happened to me 6 months ago. I had a family event where I wanted to reduce 5 pounds in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Pulled up myself, did everything that's needed, and I was able to reduce that. But once that event was done, I didn't have a motivation to continue. There was an interesting quote which James mentions in the book. The purpose of setting up goals is to win a game. But the purpose of setting up a system is to continue playing the game. That's what I should have done. I should have set up a system to say, I'm going to work out this many times in a week. I want to eat healthy. I want to eat this much protein in the week. That would have helped me continue that and become stronger rather than reducing 5 pounds at one time. The third insight from the book is to focus on what you want to be. What is your identity? If you focus on that, you'll be able to achieve a better outcome. So what James explains here is in order for you to change the behavior, there is 3 ways to do that. Outcome based, process based, and identity based. Most of us operate from outcome to identity. I want to go to gym 5 times a week. You'll set up the process and that becomes your identity if you consistently do that. But if you do it the other way around, then it becomes your identity. I want to be fitter. I want to be stronger. Then you can define the process that you want to do and at the same time define the outcome for that. This is a more sustainable way where you can set up a habit rather than thinking about an outcome. That brings us to the final and the most important insight from the book. How would you build a good habit? James explains this in 4 steps: a cue, craving, and a response, and a reward. A cue triggers your brain to take an action. A craving gives you all the required motivation to take that action. A response is the action that we take, and the reward is the instant gratification that we would give ourselves to continue to do the same habit. James has taken these 4 steps and created 4 laws for behavioral change. The first law is to make it obvious. Let's take my example. I've listed out my habits that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to work out 3 times a week. I wanted to do my neck and shoulder exercise 4 times a week. And I want to take vitamins 5 times a week. This clearly gives me an indication to say, hey, this is the habit that you want to achieve. The second law is to make it attractive. Let's take the example of my workout. I am a movie buff, so I would love to watch movies. So I use that concept called temptation bundling, where you will take the action that you want to do and bundle it with the action that you need to do. So what I did is I've taken an iPad and a speaker and kept it near my workout area, so that if I'm watching a movie, that will make it more attractive for me. And I also make sure to not watch that movie after my workout is done. The third principle is to make it easy. In order for me to do that, I did a couple of things. The first one is the 5-minute rule. So I motivate myself every day to say, hey, I'm going to go do a workout for like 5 to 10 minutes. If I want to continue, I'll continue. Most of the time when I go work out, it has always helped for me. I work out at least 30 to 40 minutes when I go there. The second one that I did is for my movies, I've literally put the iPad on the wall and just have to click few times and the movie will continue to play. And the last part is make it satisfying. So the way I did this is I use that board where I go and write every time I finish my workout. So that gives me an instant gratification to say, hey, I finished it. I also like to keep my workout early in the week so that my weekends are simpler. I can have fun doing things whatever I like. Overall, the power of atomic habits is that it puts the systems in front of your goals. It puts your identity in front of your outcomes, and finally gives you a defined process to achieve your habits. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked that video. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.